Miu, that means hello, boys and girls. And if you're on this site right now, it's because you've purchased a basket weaving kit from La Habra Children's Museum. And as you can see, it's in a little, nicely packaged plastic bag. And I want you to open it up, and I want you to get a bucket of water. It could be a pot, it could be as big as this, a little bit smaller, but we're gonna soak it for about 15 minutes. Mine has already been soaked for 15 minutes, so we're gonna go on. Once it's soaked, you're gonna pull out your weavers. These are the weavers. And just to let you know that my name is Miss Jacque Nunez, and I am a member of the Akashima Nation. We're the indigenous people of Orange County. And this is one of our baskets that we would have made when the children saw berries and they said, come on, let's go, gather some berries. And they actually would have taken something like juncus. This right here is round reed, so it's not the indigenous and traditional material, but it's gonna make a basket that's pretty close to the one that's made out of juncus. So you're gonna have 3 rings, 2 are color and 1 is white. So before you even begin, I want you to unweave this because it's woven rather tightly, so you wanna just kind of loosen it up like this, see? And just set it on the table. I'm gonna do the same with the black because when I go to grab it, I don't wanna have to untangle it. So I'm just gonna carefully, without too much, I'm gonna look at it. There we go. I don't think I need to call my assistant who's filming it. I think I might be able to do it without her, but she's ready if I needed her. And I'm just gonna unwive the black, and then I'll leave that, and that'll be ready to go too. Some of you may be in 3rd and 4th grade, and if you are, this is a great project to do because you're learning about the indigenous people of Orange County. And of course, I want to tell you a couple of facts. There's 117 tribes in California that are federally recognized. And that's a lot more than your book probably even talks about. And we all, according to the landscape, we made our huts. Some of them look like the ones that we made, which were quichas and sort of look like a grass igloo shape. Some were made in a sort of the shape of a teepee, but were made out of bark. Some were called longhouses. So we all just sort of, depending on the material that was available, and material I mean plants, because we made all of our dwellings with plants. So these are ready to go. I've kind of loosened them up. So when I go to grab it, so this particular one has turquoise and black. All right, so we're ready to go with that. That's the first step. First step, of course, is the water. Then the second step is to untangle and loosen up your weavers. So this is called a basket start. And Miss Jacque designed this because I've made thousands and thousands of baskets. And when we started, we had them flat, and then we put them into this shape. So I thought, I wonder if it would be easier if we already had it in that shape. And you know what? It was the middle of the night when I thought of it, and this has been a very good invention for me to go to schools. So what I did was I looked over here, and this piece is the weaver. I'm gonna take it out, and now I'm gonna unwind it just like this. And as I unwind it, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna stretch it out just like that because it's curly and we want it more like a loose curl, okay? And now it looks like a jellyfish, but we're gonna open it up just a little. So take those spokes and open them up just like that. So it sort of looks like this. So it'll make a little bit bigger basket. Now, the most important thing is you're going to take this, and you're not gonna weave here. You're not gonna weave here. You're gonna make your fingers come up right to this part, which we call the start. We also call it the belly button because it's the birth of the basket. All right, so there I am. And then I want you to hold your hands open like this, take your finger and practice, say over the spokes, under the spokes, over the spokes, and under. Now watch me. This is under the spokes. So what is my next move? Over. Remember, over, under, over. So that's under. So my next move is over, and my finger is just gonna trail it over and under the spokes. Don't separate those spokes, just leave them together. You're probably also gonna notice that there are 2 spokes that are 3 and not 2. Why? Because we have to, when we start to make the basket, we start off with 12, which is an even number, but you need to have an uneven number to make an even basket. So what we do is we clump 3 together and it makes 11. And if you were to start here and count, there's 11 spokes, and you want to have 11 spokes instead of 12. All right, so there I go. I'm going over and under, over and under. I like to keep my basket start down like this, because when I turn it this way, those spokes sort of, I don't know, it makes my eyes kind of crazy. So I like to have it down like this. Now I'm almost finished. This is the most important part. What are you gonna do with it? This right here it's like the little piglet. It's the end of the basket. You're gonna push it inside the basket, just like that, okay? Now we're gonna take the color. Let's take this turquoise one. Shake it out. Now watch what I'm doing. This is the middle part. This is where I put it in. That's your under. This crosses right here. So important. I'm gonna bring it up close. So this is the middle. This is there. You hold on to it. That was your under. Your next move is over, and you go all the way around, holding it. And then what happens is it just stays right in there. So that's how you add it. And I'm going to do it sort of a little bit faster here. I'm going to weave this up. We're going to add the black, and then we're going to add the white. So why don't I teach you a song while you're weaving? And this little song is a basket weaving song. So everyone say awahuna, 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 hena, hena. So I'm going to sing, and then you can sing after me. Awahuna, 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 hena, hena. Awahuna, 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 hena, hena. Wow, I think I could hear you almost. That was great. So I'm going to go all the way around. I'm almost finished. And halfway through, look at, I'm going to tighten it up. So you want to push to make sure there's no spaces. You want to keep it nice and tight, okay? And so I'm going to go like this. All right, so let's talk a little bit about my people, the Ahashiman. We were the builders of the mission San Juan Capistrano. And before that, some say that we were in the area for 10,000 years, and some say from time immemorial. That means forever, because they keep finding bones that are thousands, even 100,000 years old. So we've been here, and we were, we assimilated into the Spanish society, which meant that we sort of forgot our culture, which was sad. But in the last 50 years, we've unearthed it, and that's a beautiful thing. And my mother was a basket weaver, so was my Aunt Juanita, and it makes me very proud that I'm carrying on our traditions. I don't want you to forget your culture either. Whatever your culture is, I want you to learn about it and celebrate it. Here we go again, parents, if you can help them. This little pigtail is here. You push it in the basket. This piece is right here in the middle. The new piece goes there. So we're gonna get a close-up so you can see that. If you put it here, you're gonna have an over, and you don't wanna have that. It has to be an alternating stitch. So now I'm gonna add this. I have a few people that are watching and they're shaking their head. Yes, they get it. I think they might wanna weave a basket. So that is, and if it's your first basket, I wanna let you know that we always say the first basket must be given away. And you're gonna say, why? Because we believe that when a child weaves their first basket and they give it away, it means that they will be a generous person in the future. So once you make this basket, think about it, and it should stay on your family line. So it could be a grandma, grandpa, or mom and dad. And after you make your basket, you're gonna say, Mom, I made this with my hands. It comes from my heart, and I want you to have it. And it'll still be in the family. And then you can buy another kit and make it, and you can keep it. And what is a basket for? Well, at home, it could be used for a lot of things. It could be on a desk, and it could hold something like, maybe even some paper clips. Maybe you could save your dimes in it. Maybe you could put some candy kisses in it when you want to give it away. And I know a little girl that bought several kits, and she made all the baskets and gave it away for Christmas. She says, I'm not going to shop anymore. I'm going to make things that come from my heart and give it away. And everyone cherished that gift. Well, we're on our last color here, which is now white. You get 2. Because I didn't open it as much as I wanted, so this is going to be a little bit smaller than I normally make them. But I'm going to take my white one here. We're going to add it again. So here's that pigtail. Here it is. And then I'm going to push this down again so you can see it. It's in the basket. And this one has to hop over, and there it is. There's that X. Okay, so we're going to add this again. You know, a lot of times when I go to schools, and I do travel, so I think somewhere on the website of La Habra, they have how you can connect Miss Jackie, and I can travel to your school and we can do baskets, or we do baskets virtually as well. So that's a possibility in case I have any teachers there looking for a special project. Now look at, we're seeing the colors there. I can see the white. I was going to make this a little bit smaller due to just time, and it can be a smaller basket, but we could have gone on. I think you get 3 weavers, so we could have made it a little bit bigger, but I'm just gonna finish this white one out, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim just a little bit the ends, and we will have a finished basket, because I want you to see how to finish a basket. What were baskets used for a long time ago? Carrying our babies, gathering acorns. We even had a basket that was over the grinding stone that we called a hopper, that kind of had a big hole in the bottom. It sat on a grinding stone, and it kept the acorn from hopping out of the stone. And we used baskets to winnow, which is sift the acorn. So, you know, they have a lot of uses, and those are my people that used them. And so there we go. So as you can see, it's a little bit smaller. The way that you make it a little bigger is when you open up your basket, you just stretch out your weavers slightly. So here we go. This is almost done. I keep tightening it up there. And I'm just gonna finish here. And then, so here's our finished basket. I'm gonna pull these out like this. Just flatten it out a little bit, like that. It was kind of, we actually made rattles out of baskets too. This could have been a nice little rattle. That is, oh, I think if one of you could get the basket that's behind me on the table, I could show them the different shapes. I think there's one over there. It's a little one that I made while I was in the museum. And if you are going to do a report on the California Native American, there is a Native American exhibit right here at the La Habra Children's Museum, and there's one on the Hashimentongva, so you ought to come and see it. It's really lovely, but there's many regions. So here is a basket that's a little bigger, and this is how you make it this size as you open it up a little bit more. And so I didn't quite. So if it's smaller like mine, I'm just gonna cut off maybe this much, just about 2 inches. So I'll cut it off just a little bit. Oh, not as easy as I thought. There we go. All right, and then just like this. Okay, so now I've got enough that I can end it. If you want a basket like this, you won't need to trim this because it'll just come out perfect. I just made mine a little smaller. Start anywhere. Take this. First, I'm going to soak it again. Shake it out. Because they're kind of like toothpicks and they could snap. All right, so I take this, go behind and inside. So I take it, and the next one is this one. I go behind and inside. This one goes behind and inside. This one goes behind and inside, sort of like a domino. So the next one is this one, behind and inside. What's really good is we have a small one and a big one, and you know, either one is perfect. behind and inside. Oh no, now I see what's going on. The last one standing, where is it gonna go? Because it's just standing there with nowhere to go. See? But where it goes is the first loop. So you go behind and inside the basket, just like that. Pull it through, like that. Now I'm gonna roll it like this to kind of shape it, and I'm gonna push the bottom with my thumb. That's the belly button. We're making it an innie belly button. And then it sits flat, just like that. So you can make a small basket with the same material that we give you, or you can make a bigger basket just like that. Now, if it's your first basket, remember you're going to give it away and say, I made this with my hands, it comes from my heart, and I want you to have it. And in my language, we say, Nokrun Lovek, Ompalov. From a deep place in my heart, I thank you. Have fun, because basket weaving is a fun activity. Until I see you next time, toodaloo.